Hello, my fellow DC Comics fans and fans of the DC Cinematic Universe Facebook page and group. Welcome to the third episode of the DC Cinematic Universe podcast. I'm the head admin of the DC Cinematic Universe page, Mitchell, and joining me today is my fellow admin, Scarlett. How are you, Scarlett?
I'm doing good, thank you. Hello, everyone.
So, on this podcast, we are going to talk about the recent news concerning the DC Cinematic Universe. So, let's get started. The first photo of Henry Cavill as Superman from Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice has been revealed. In the photo, he is standing on a rooftop in what appears to be Gotham City. Did you see this photo, Scarlett, and what do you think of it?
I sure did see it. I think it looks very much the same as the Man of Steel costume. There's not a lot of differences, but I think it looks great. I'm kind of curious what it looks like in, actual daylight instead of darkness. So, yeah, it's
Yeah,
interesting.
there are a few differences. There's a few though. The one is the actual symbol. It's a little bit brighter from what it looks like, and that could be the lighting, but it does look to be brighter. And then the actual belt area, it
Mm.
is square and not circular. So, but those are all the things I noticed that are different.
The biggest notice to me is that Henry Cavill, he looks older, more mature in it, right? Like he
Yeah,
looks, you know.
he looks more like Superman.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
right?
and he's bigger too in terms of his muscle and all that.
Which I thought would be impossible. Like, I don't know how he got bigger from the
He's
first movie,
he's
but
got to match Ben Affleck now. I mean,
I guess
you
so.
look at Ben Affleck and him in Man of Steel. Ben Affleck's twice the size, so
I
he's got
know
to
it's
get bigger.
it's getting crazy. Yeah,
I really do like the costume though from Man of
I do
Steel, and
too.
it isn't much different, like you said. So, but the fact that he's in Gotham City is pretty cool too. I mean, it might not be Gotham, but it looks like Gotham. And the thing I like about it looking like Gotham is that it doesn't look like the Gotham we saw in the Dark Knight trilogy, which was more modern. More, it
Hmm.
looked a lot like New York, but I guess that's because they filmed it in New York. But this looks more like the Tim Burton Gotham in a way, the more gothic style Gotham City,
The
which is
pic-
pretty cool.
yeah, the picture looks very dark. Like it looks very, the rain and look very grim and, it's interesting.
Well, it says the dawn, and that's saying the night is darkest just before the dawn.
Hmm.
So I expect a very dark movie. I don't expect it to be light, just because of that saying in the title and everything. But I do. I mean, there obviously has to be some light moments in it. You
Yeah.
can't have an all dark. I mean, you could, but that'd be depressing. So, but let's move on to the next story here. I mean, that just the photo, and there's not much really to talk about. So let's move on to the next story, and that is that more set photos from Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice are online. And in the photos, we see several extras holding flowers and paying their respects amidst a rubble of a destroyed Superman statue. What do you think of these photos?
So the big question is Superman gonna die in it, or are we gonna think that he's gonna like do people think that he's gonna die in it, right?
Yeah.
Or that he's severely injured or something and everyone thinks he's dead, which is very interesting because then,
Mm.
it raises some questions.
Well, there was a huge rumor, like a while ago, like when this movie was first announced, like a month after, there was this big rumor that at the end of the movie, the world would believe that Superman was dead. And it looks like that rumor might be true.
It definitely does, because why would they be putting flowers on a broken statue? Unless the people thought Superman was dead, right?
Exactly, yeah. And that brings another thing up too is maybe that's why the Justice League was formed to honor Superman and what he stood for.
Maybe.
I don't. I mean, it's possible, but that leads into our next story as well, and that's about Doomsday. And Bleeding Cool is reporting that their sources have told them that they have seen the Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice designs for Doomsday. Do you believe this, Scarlett? Do you think there's any truth to it?
Well, before I thought Doomsday's way too early to have him, but I'm starting to think he's going to be in the movie. Like I really do think he is now. If Superman apparently potentially dies, or people think he's not going to stay dead, obviously, because he can't. But people think that he's dead. The person who would do it would be Doomsday. So I'm starting to think it's true. What do you think? Do you think it's true?
I do. Yeah, I really do. I think Doomsday's that's going to be the ending of the movie. It's going to be the big fight between Doomsday, Superman with Batman in there and Wonder Woman in the mix as well. And I think,
I,
at the end Superman's going to die.
yeah, I heard an interesting rumor this morning, actually, that Lex Luthor creates Doomsday through there were some embryos that still like they I'm not sure if I understand, but they were still there, the Kryptonian embryos, and he collected them somehow, and then he created Doomsday through experimenting with all these 10 embryos or something.
That'd
I don't
be
know. Yeah, I'll have to share it to the page. I just read it this morning right before recording this, but it was interesting.
that would
So,
that would make sense too with
yeah,
all the what did they call it? I can't remember what that was called. The thing that Jarrell put
Genesis
within
chamber or something, right? Oh, or are you
it
talking about the
was the
codex?
Codex. That's what it was called, and it houses all the Kryptonian DNA. It's possible that Lex Luthor somehow got a hold of part of it, or
Yeah.
something like that, and created a Kryptonian species, Doomsday.
So,
And that would make sense too, how Lex Luthor fits into the story then.
so the question is like with Doomsday, he'd probably just be mostly CGI, right? Because he doesn't really talk. I mean, he mostly in the comics he just kind of, you know, grunts and stuff like I
Yeah, I
don't
would
think it would be cast as him.
I would prefer it be like instead of like all like animated, if it would be like a motion capture performance, sort of like Caesar in the recent Planet of the Apes movies and
Yeah.
Gollum in Lord of the Rings. Just I mean, in my opinion, that looks more it's more lifelike the movements than it would be if it was just CGI animated.
Right.
So yeah, I think that would yeah, it would probably be CGI. It's not going to be how Smallville did it with the with the the rubber suit. Did you see that?
No, I never saw that.
No, okay. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like that, the rubber suit.
No.
But I mean, they don't Smallville didn't have the budget to go full CGI. So they had to do a rubber suit and it looked good for the budget they had. It really did look pretty good. I thought it did at least.
So Doomsday is, I'm thinking he's in it.
Yeah,
I'm
me
really,
too.
because there's so many rumors and they persisted for so long that he's the other villain in it. So it's interesting.
I think it'd be pretty cool to see that on the big screen. The death of Superman. That would
Definitely
get
be
me
shocking.
that would get me even more excited than I already am for the movie.
It'd
If
be
it
very
turned
sad.
out to be true.
Yeah. People would not expect that, that's for sure.
Okay, well let's move on to the next story here. The next story here is going to take us a while to talk about, and that is that Joblo is reporting a lot of details from their sources concerning Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. They have quite a bit. And they have on Wonder Woman, they say her character will be introduced as Diana in the film initially before we see her as Wonder Woman. She will have a fair amount of screen time and will team up with Batman and Superman for the final battle against an unnamed villain. God, I'm getting over a cold, so.
I do.
Against an unnamed villain who may be working or controlled by Lex Luthor. Her origin will be intentionally vague, but she is brought into the fold to show that there are other superheroes in the universe other than Superman. They also say her costume will consist of a blue leather skirt, silver armored cuffs that reach to her elbows, a golden tiara, and a variation of the traditional looking red top. She will also have four weapons, including a lasso, sword, shield, and spear. What do you think of this?
I think it's amazing. It's true. That look for Wonder Woman is my favorite. The kind of gladiator, the skirt, the kind of Xena look.
Yeah,
It's my favorite in the comics. Like I love her look in Earth 2. Um, with well before she died
yeah,
with
yeah.
yeah. So I really hope it's true. And I love Wonder Woman as a warrior woman. I really like the whole sword shield with her that they've been doing lately. Because before, I mean, she was mostly just the lasso and the cuffs and stuff. So
Hmm.
I really like the warrior aspect of her. I think it's the best kind of thing route that they could go. So I am very excited, and I think it's true.
I
I
hope.
think that
Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
sorry, I think that with Zack Snyder directing a movie like 300 and stuff, I think it's true. I think he's kind of going that kind of warrior route like he did in that. So
I really hope it's true. I think this look really fits her, and it's different than anything we've seen before in a live action Wonder Woman.
yeah,
Because obviously our only, well, long going live action Wonder Woman would be Linda Carter, but she was not this warrior Wonder Woman type of character. She was a different version of Wonder Woman.
yeah,
And so the general public, I don't has never really seen a warrior version of this character, so it would be very interesting to see that on screen.
yeah. The only
But it,
thing, oh, sorry, go ahead.
but it's also incredibly different than the rumors that we've heard before from this look, because the rumors before were her Wonder Woman number 600 look, the Odyssey look. So obviously, if this is true, that's not, unless she has two different looks in the movie, which is possible. What were you gonna say before?
Um, the only thing I hope is that if they do make her, well, they're going to make her the warrior kind of aspect of her is that they don't make her too, like, they still got to have her as the peace ambassador bit too, kind of thing. Like, they still
Yeah,
gotta have her,
you can't go too far like they did in
yeah,
Justice League War.
she can't be too psychotic. Like, she can't be ready to lop off people's heads before she,
Yeah,
wants to, like, she still has to reach out her hand and be that kind of ambassador piece too. So there has to be a happy medium between the two, and I think that they definitely will
yeah. I
do that.
hope they do. I hope they don't go too far. Like you did you see Justice League War?
I did, yeah, I bought it when it came out.
She was nuts in that.
Yeah, but she was supposed to be really young in that too. So to be fair,
Even so, it was
yeah, I
still.
know. It wasn't everyone's favorite depiction of her, I don't think.
Yeah, I didn't like it that much. I liked how they did other characters like Batman and Green Lantern and Flash. Superman wasn't my favorite in that either, but
Oh,
I it was a good. It wasn't bad. Justice League War certainly wasn't bad.
no, but she was pretty, you know, sword happy in that movie. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the next thing Joblo is reporting, and that is about Batman. And they say he is a veteran crime fighter that will do anything to get the job done. Superman is a rule follower, so they often don't see eye to eye, which is a consistent dynamic with their initial relationship. As for Batman's usual digs, Wayne Manor is there, but Bruce Wayne chooses to live on the property in a modern looking cottage by a lake. Underneath the cottage is a modernized Batcave, which houses a Batwing along with his other gear Batmobile, Batarangs, etc. What do you think of this, Scarlett?
The cottage on the lake is interesting. It's I would never ever think that. Like I wonder why they're going that route if it is true. Um, I've read that some people were like, well, maybe he doesn't want to live in the house anymore because maybe Jason Todd died or something, and too many memories or something. And it's possible. It's kind of strange though, because
It is
like I
weird.
know in the comics there was a time when he lived in the tower in the whatchamacallit suite on the top of the tower, and he didn't live in the Wayne Manor, and he actually lived in the city. But and they show that in the Dark Knight trilogy after his house burnt down. After the first one, the house burnt down, he was staying in the tower for a while there. but I don't know. It's kind of different. It I don't really like it or dislike it. The manor sounds cool though. It it makes me believe that that house that they were building at that Girl Scout camp or the previous Girl Scout
Yeah,
camp must be Wayne Manor then.
it could be, and there were reports. It was never officially confirmed, but there were reports that they were trying to get a lake house to film at.
Oh,
So if they're trying to get that, then this could definitely be true, because
yeah.
the cottage is supposed to be on a lake.
Is that one at the Girl Scout camp on a lake? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know how I feel about it though. I mean, it's definitely different. The
Yeah.
cottage on the lake. It's something we've never seen before. But I don't know. I think for their first appearance of Batman in this universe, I was hoping they would go a little bit more traditional and not completely go outside the box like this.
Yeah. And Wayne Manor's still there on the like the cottage is on the property, but he's not living in Wayne Manor. It's
Yeah,
kind of
I mean it all depends on how they do it, I guess. If they have a really like good reason for him to be living in the cottage, I wouldn't mind it. But me personally, I would rather him be living in Wayne Manor.
yeah, me too, kind of. I don't know. I don't really care, but I just think it's kind of I don't know. It's kind of well, they'll have to explain why, I guess.
They would, and yeah, they definitely would.
Because everyone knows he lives in his mansion, right?
Yeah,
So, yeah.
and
And I heard that it's all glass too. Like it's a
I didn't hear that.
oh, maybe no, I heard that the
That's
Girl Scout camp one was all
oh
glass.
okay.
That house
I
they're building
mean,
Girl Scout camp.
most of it, at least I think most of the movie is going to be in Metropolis. I think in only a few scenes will probably be in Gotham. So I think Bruce Wayne will be in Metropolis most of the time.
Yeah.
Just, I
Well, it
think
makes
so.
sense.
You know, I think it'll be the majority of it will be in Metropolis, but you never know. It could be all in Gotham.
I hope it's mostly Metropolis. Like I hope they introduce Gotham, but I don't know. Well, it's going to be somewhat Metropolis because if they say I have a Superman statue
Yeah,
in
yeah, and
between
that
Metropolis,
would have to be in Metropolis. It wouldn't make sense for that to be in Gotham.
no. So I do want to see Gotham though.
No, me too, and I think we're going to. Just, I
Yeah,
mean, you look at the Superman picture we talked about. Henry Cavill as Superman, he looks like he's in Gotham.
yeah,
So I think we're definitely going to see Gotham City.
yeah.
Maybe part of if Doomsday's in it, maybe part of the fight will take place in Gotham City.
Maybe.
Maybe it'll go from Metropolis all the way to Gotham. That'd be pretty cool if it stretches out like that all across the world. If one minute they're fighting in Metropolis, then all of a sudden they're in India or something
Well,
fighting.
in Death of Superman, he did. It was like a long way that
Oh
they were
yeah.
fighting. It was like through houses and through, yeah. So maybe,
If people thought the destruction in Man of Steel was bad,
yeah.
wait till they see this.
No kidding.
All right, so let's move on to the next thing here, and that is Joblow's report about Lex Luthor. And they say he thinks he is God's gift to humanity and the best that humanity has to offer, which leads to his hatred of Superman, because Superman is basically a god. It makes Lex feel less than perfect. Lex tries to sway the people to dislike and fear Superman, and many people are swayed. Some see Superman as a hero, while others see him as the ultimate threat. What do you think of this?
I like it. I like that kind of version of Lex quite a bit. Um, and I think that there would be people like that. Like if Superman actually existed, there would be some people who would be like no matter even if he says he's gonna help us and all that, there'd be some people who'd be like, I don't trust him, and they shouldn't. Like why would they?
I'd probably be one of those people.
I probably would be too.
Yeah.
That's why I love
Yeah.
Lex. Is there's so much of Lex that I agree with that I would be like I would totally see it that way too. So, you know, yeah, I like
I don't think I'd trust him either.
no,
He's so powerful. He's not from here. He's probably got ulterior motives.
Hmm.
That's how I'd see it.
And there's been so many stories that have, you know, um, seen what would happen if Superman did go bad, or
Yeah.
kind of thing. So
One of my favorites is Injustice, the most recent one, or
I've
one of the
only
most recent ones.
I've only read up to volume one of that, but it was
I've only read volume one of it too, but the video
yeah,
game I've played.
yeah, me too.
So, I've read, and he went completely crazy in Earth 2, which is also that's one. If
Yeah,
you're not reading Earth 2,
it's
it's
great.
one of the
Yeah,
best books being published right now. It's really
it
good.
is.
And Superman's completely nuts. He's working for Darkseid, and it's crazy.
Yeah, I've read up to volume three of that one, and yeah, and so I just found out that Brutel, or whatever his name was Superman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets crazy. What once has he attacked Earth yet? Where you're at?
No, not yet. That'll be the next
Oh
volume.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait till that happens. It gets nuts.
And then there's like Red Sun, where he's not, bad,
Red
but it's
Son.
interesting.
That's one of my favorites.
It's an awesome book. Oh,
It's really good.
yeah. So, I mean, those kind of versions of Lex, I mean, I kind of like Lex when he's not just the straight up, I mean, he's a villain still, but
Yeah.
where you can relate to him, right? Like where
Like
he's not just like, I'm just a billionaire and I want to own all this and you're just getting in the way of
yeah.
me being conqueror, right?
Well, I don't. I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm not gonna hate on that version. I like that version, but I prefer the version you're talking about, where he's more relatable and whatnot. That's why I loved Smallville so much. Was for Lex Luthor and the way they portrayed him, because he was awesome in Smallville.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And I
also one of the reasons I. A lot of people don't like this show, but I I I think it's one of the best portrayals of Lex Luthor, and that's Lois and Clark.
and I don't remember that show. I need to
Really?
rewatch it because I loved it when I was a kid. Like I loved that show when I was a kid, but I was young,
It's certainly very, like, if you watch it now, it's certainly very childish, the show.
Yeah.
But the way they portray the character Lex Luthor is is really good. And the actor they have playing him, while he's not bald, he has hair.
Hmm.
It's very cool. And Lex Luthor doesn't have to be bald.
No, and the rumor is that in the beginning of the film, at least, he has long reddish blonde hair, right? Or
Yeah, yeah, I
strawberry
heard
blonde hair
that.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. Look, and he's set up to lose it then. That's
Yeah.
probably he probably does lose it. I mean, Lex Luthor always loses his hair.
It'd be interesting if he lost it from cancer or something, from kryptonite or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Or maybe
Maybe
he just
Doomsday.
doomsday. Yeah, who knows?
Maybe if
Fire.
maybe if that rumor's true, he experiments with Kryptonian DNA and he loses his hair as a result of it.
Maybe it'd be interesting, especially if he thinks he's God's gift to women, like, or God's gift to humanity. Like if he thinks he's just that, maybe it bothers him that he loses his hair or something. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I would like to see if he does lose his hair, how it's portrayed in Smallville, how he looks at himself completely differently after that.
Hmm.
And no one, and not just him, no one looks at him the same after that. That's one of the things I liked about Smallville was, like I said it before, is Lex Luthor.
I do remember that in Smallville. I liked it a lot too. He was great in Smallville, though. What's his name? I can't remember his name.
Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
great. Yeah.
I got mistaken for him on Facebook once, which is
Well,
pretty
your name's
cool.
pretty similar.
Yeah, someone thought I was Michael Rosenbaum, which was I don't know, I was flattered. So, all right. But I guess that's all we got to say on the Lex Luthor subject. So I have two questions here that I've picked out. And I put something on Facebook where I said on the page, I put, just put your questions below and we might address them. So I've got two picked out. And the first one is from Brenton Brown. And he writes, what do you think of Kevin Smith's fake script? Do you think it's true? Do you think that's where the rumors are coming from? What do you think of the newly revealed villains? I just want to say before we talk about this that Kevin Smith did not write that fake script. I know this question was written before he said that, though, so I'm not, Brendan, you're not to blame for not knowing that. But, yeah, so Kevin Smith didn't write that fake script, but there is still a fake script. Scarlett, what do you think?
Um, it's kind of interesting too because there was somebody on Twitter who was claiming to have written the fake script, but
Yeah.
obviously there's no proof that he did.
Yeah, and El Mayambe from Latina Review got into a huge Twitter
I
fight with
don't
that
know.
guy
I read that. That was entertaining.
because they got fooled by it. Latina Review.
Yes.
They
And
thought it was real.
and they
So
wanted him to show the proof that he wrote it, like send them the original file,
yeah,
the PDF, right? Because anyone can get the PDF, and he did.
I have the PDF.
Yeah,
So
I have the
there you go.
PDF on my computer
I
too.
wrote the script. I can prove it. I have the PDF file.
I, I still have not written or read the script yet, but
Really,
you said that you read it and
I
that
read
you.
it. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad.
Hmm.
But I also don't see like I don't see how they would think it was real just by reading it because it has I mean this is no I'm not trying to like insult the guy who really did write it because it he wrote a pretty good story, but it has quite a bit of of grammar mistakes in it.
Hmm.
So for I mean this is written by Chris Terrio, who is an Oscar award winning screenwriter. I don't think he would have a lot of grammar mistakes
No, probably not.
in his script.
Unless it was before Chris Terrio did the
No, because
revisions.
the cover on it, it's
It
meant to
said
be. It
January.
says, "Hang on, I'll pull it up right here. Hang on, I have it on my computer." It says the title of it, Batman versus Superman. Then it says untitled under it, and this is the third draft, so it would have been untitled by this point. It says written by David S. Goyer and Chris Terrio from a
And
story
then,
by Zack Snyder and David S. Goyer. So already you can tell it's fake
yeah,
because David S. Goyer did not write the screenplay; he merely wrote the story.
yeah. Huh.
But I don't know. They got fooled by it, which and it's really good. The beginning of it's quite good. It begins with Aquaman, which is very cool. It's like he's attacking this oil rig, and Superman stops him. It's really cool. It's a good beginning, good ending too. It actually ends the same way I think the actual movie is going to end. But I won't spoil that for you, Scarlett, because you haven't read it yet. But part of the question was, what do you think of the newly revealed villains? And, well, there aren't newly revealed villains. The script was fake. But the actual villains that were supposedly revealed by Latino Review, based off this fake script, were Amanda Waller, Zaz, David Kane, and Morgan Edge.
And Zaz was only a cameo in the beginning or something, right?
Yeah, he was how they introduced Batman. It was him taking down Zaz.
Which is, kind of a cool cameo. It's
It is
interesting.
pretty cool. Yeah, and he wasn't just
Yeah.
he had like a whole scene, so it wasn't like it was just a cameo.
And he'd be kind of a cool villain to have as because we haven't seen him before, but he's kind of, but anyways.
Well, we've seen him once.
Yeah, we in the
One
Dark
time he
Knight.
was in Batman Begins.
Oh, it was
I
Batman
think I
Begins.
believe it was Batman Begins. I think it was no, or was it The Dark Knight? It was one of them. It was like he was in court or something, and it was like one scene
Uh-huh.
where he was there.
But no one would know that hadn't read
No, I
or
mean
read that.
no one would know who it was.
I mean, it's a lot better than having like Penguin or something.
Yeah,
So, yeah. Hmm. I kind of hope that is, well, it's not obviously not true 'cause this is a fake script, but I kind
yeah.
of hope that they do something like that as an opening shot for
Well, the
Batman. I
only
think that's cool.
the only character that I could like see being a part of it, like, and there's two of them in here that I definitely could see being in it, and one's Morgan Edge, just because of his connections to Lex Luthor in the comic books,
Hmm.
and the other's Amanda Waller. Just because she's so central in everything in DC. She's like Argus is what she runs. It's like the shield of the DC universe.
I hope that, yeah, like that'd be cool if she's in it. I would like to get like kind of like a Justice League of America team as well with the main Justice League and then maybe like another team kind of going.
Yeah,
It'd be kind of cool if she's in it. And David Kane, he like when I think of him, I think of Cassandra Cain. Like he was her father,
Yeah, he
helped
is.
train Batman, and yeah. So I don't know. That's just sort of a weird one to have in there.
Well, he's
Why?
there in this script. He's an assassin, so he's hired by Lex Luthor to take someone out.
Oh, okay.
Basically, is his role in the movie, and he's very small. He's in like two scenes in the script.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he'll be in the actual movie though, just because I mean he could be, but I don't even think he really fit in the story that this guy was telling in his fake script.
Yeah.
Really, they could have deleted all those scenes, and it would have been a much more cohesive story. He kind of took away from the main focus of it. But that's just me. You have anything to add on that?
No, not really. Just the David Cain thing just kind of sticks out to me as being weird, but that's the only thing.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely is an odd choice to put in there.
Yeah.
But we have one more question I've picked out, and that is from James Reed. And he asks, so how do you think the Green Lantern movie fits into the DC cinematic universe? How would you answer this, Scarlett?
I have no idea. Like, because there's rumors that the Flash Green Lantern movie is coming, what, 2017? Christmas or
Is
something?
it?
Is
It's
it
either
20,
20. Yeah, I think it's 2017. Yeah,
around Christmas time or something like that?
it's either 2017 or 2016. It's not 2018. But yeah, those are just rumors, though.
Those are just rumors. Um, yeah, like he's the one that we haven't, well, we don't know Flash for sure either yet, but he's the one that, I mean, I don't think the old Green Lantern movie with Ryan,
Yeah, and
uh,
that's the
it's
question
not,
is where do you think that fits?
I don't think it'll be, I wonder if they'll do a Hulk thing where it'll be like they won't tell an origin story, but it's not, this movie isn't, you know,
Sort of
part
a
of it.
yeah. See, that's what I think they'll probably end up doing with him.
Because that's probably
They'll do exactly what Marvel did with the Hulk. They'll just ignore the previous one and they'll kind of
continue on.
sort of reboot it in a way, but not really reboot it. Just kind of put it aside and create this new movie.
That's probably the best thing to do because no one wants to see another origin movie.
Well,
And
they could do it like how they did the Hulk's origin, which was just
15 minutes of,
not even
yeah,
50. It was like not even that, like 5-10 minutes, and
yeah,
they just went on with the story. They could do that the exact same way. They don't even have to do that. They could do it like they could have like the opening credits as the origin, sort of like how the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies did it after Spider-Man 1. They show you the origin, the opening credits.
that would be good. Yeah. That's what I think that they should probably do because it's not that the movie was like completely horrible or anything, but it wasn't good either. And even though some of the acting, like Ryan Reynolds was fine in it, I liked him in it, and I loved Mark Strong as Sinestro.
I think everyone liked Mark Strong as
Yeah, everyone
Sinestro.
did, which is
He was
such a
fantastic.
it's such a shame if he, that he probably won't be coming back.
Yeah,
But the problem is you can't really keep Ryan Reynolds and Mark Strong because if you do, people are going to assume that they're connected, even if they're,
exactly. Yeah.
and so when they have Green Lantern 2, right? And people are not going to flock to the theater because they're like, well, the first one sucked. Why would I see the next one,
No
right?
one even saw the first one.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. The first one lost a lot of money.
So if you recast it, even that though Ryan Reynolds it wasn't his fault at all. If you recast it, I think that more people would see it because they would assume automatically that it's, a rebooted movie, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They did
But
with the Hulk.
plus, it would be after if they do it, it would be after Justice League.
Yeah.
So that's already people are gonna go see that just because it's Justice League. If
Yeah.
you don't go see it for Superman, you go see it for Batman or Wonder Woman or whatever the other characters are going to be on the team. But if it's after Justice League, you already have an established Green Lantern in this universe.
The
And
other thing
people
that,
know that character. So people are going to go see a movie with him. And
yeah,
if it happens to be the Flash Green Lantern team up movie that is rumored, even better. That, more people will go see that than they would just the solo movie.
I don't really understand why people don't like that. Why the
People don't
people,
like that?
yeah, a lot of people don't like the Flash Green Lantern team up movie. They're like, well, they should have solo movies. I
No,
don't
that's
really,
perfect. If they go with Hal Jordan and Barry Allen,
I know they're awesome together.
they're best friends in the comic book, so that makes sense.
I think people just feel like they should have their solo stories, like where maybe Green Lantern, is still like not on World and stuff, and they still can after, this team up movie. But a lot of people, I think, just feel like they should have their solo movies first before having a team up movie, which I don't see why it matters, but
Well, I mean,
that's just,
I mean, I don't. They gotta be the thing that Warner Brothers has to do is they have to be different than Marvel.
yeah.
That they can't do the same thing. I mean, they could do the same thing, but it wouldn't really make sense to do the same thing. And they're already being different. They're starting their universe as a trilogy with Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Justice League. So they're doing it. They're setting all this up as a trilogy. But even after that, we'll probably have a few solo films. But Warner Brothers hasn't done. I mean, not Warner Brothers. Marvel hasn't really done besides with the Avengers a team up movie. Besides that,
No.
I mean, they've done Captain America, which technically the recent one, which had Black Widow in it and Falcon, but it was a Captain America movie. It
Yeah.
wasn't a Black Widow movie or a Falcon movie. It was a Captain America movie. But if they do a Flash and Green Lantern movie and it focuses on both of them and they're both central characters to the story, then that's something Marvel hasn't done.
And comics cross over all the time too.
Yep.
Like, I mean, Superman shows up in Batman and all that. So I don't really see why it matters, why people dislike it, but
Well,
I don't
they had a really good story. I think it was last year. It was one of the. It was either the Green Lantern annual or it was the Flash annual, and it was how they first met in the New 52,
yeah.
and it's a great story.
I haven't read that because they know each other. That's right. In the beginning of Justice League, they know each other.
Yeah,
And they
and
and
it's
yeah.
yeah, and it's a really good story. The Flash in that story is able to. He has it in him to be a Green Lantern.
Very
He's able to wear the ring and use it
Oh yeah,
effectively.
that's right, because there's a picture of him. Yeah.
Yeah, he basically saves Hal's life with his ring. So, so
Interesting.
that's pretty. It was a good story too. I wouldn't mind that being the movie. I mean, they obviously have to stretch it out because the issue is like 24 pages,
It would be
so they would
interesting.
have to add a lot. But I wouldn't mind that being the basis of the movie.
It would be interesting if Flash and Green Lantern already know each other as well, and then maybe the Flash Green Lantern movie that takes place after Justice League could take place before,
Yeah,
chronologically before. That would be kind of cool.
which would also be different than what Marvel's done. They
Yeah.
haven't done that yet. They haven't done a movie that takes place before. They are technically doing part of it with Ant-Man because Hank Pym's in it, but he's an old man. He's Michael Douglas is playing the role, and he's in his 70s. So they'll probably end up flashing back to his days as Ant-Man, which would probably be in the 60s.
Hmm.
But they haven't done a straight up. This takes place before everything else.
And I don't
You
think it
know?
confuses people really. Like, I mean, they did it with the Fast and the Furious films because the third movie takes place after all the other movies or
Yeah,
something.
I know.
And they
If you market it right, it's not going to confuse anybody.
No, I don't think
You just
so.
have to make it very clear in all the posters and the trailers and everything before Justice League,
Yeah.
or something like that could be the headline before Justice League,
Yeah. And if they're filming so close together and the movie's coming out so soon, you're not going to be able to tell, that the actors look older or anything either, right?
They
Like,
wouldn't look older.
no, they
They'd be
look the
the
same or
exact.
young.
They'd
Yeah.
probably be the exact same age.
Because like watching the new X-Men movie when
Hugh Jackman does look a
yeah,
lot
you're
older.
like, wow, he looks way older than he used to in the old X-Men movie.
Yeah, he's a
But
lot bigger too in terms of his muscle size.
yeah, he is.
But
Yeah.
I'm able to. I ignored that because the
I
recent X-Men movie was great.
yeah, it's not a big deal, but
Well,
it's just
everyone looked. I mean, even besides. Wait, no, never mind. That's the only big thing was he looked older. Makes
yeah.
sense that everyone else looks older because it takes.
Yeah, because he's the only one that's going back
Yeah,
into that's the
yeah.
same actor. But yeah. So I was gonna say something else with Flash Green Lantern movie, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, I think it was just that yeah, like if the other thing they could do is have a different like we don't know it's gonna be Hal Jordan for sure. They could have a
We
different
don't.
Green
You're right.
Lantern, but I hope it's Hal Jordan because I just like Barry Allen and Hal Jordan together. And if they ever do um like the Sinestro Corpse War, it's just not the same without the Hal Jordan
Yeah.
Sinestro relationship.
Well,
So I
yeah.
definitely want Hal Jordan in this universe, but they could say, "Oh, Hal Jordan died, and I'm the new Green Lantern," and leave the Ryan Reynolds movie as is too. They could do that,
Have
but
you
I don't.
have you read any of the Smallville season 11 stuff?
I have not.
Okay, they just finished a storyline where they introduced the Green Lantern Corps and they introduced all of that. And the way they did it is exactly how you're describing, with Hal Jordan being dead.
Hmm.
Hal Jordan died in battle years ago, and his ring went to someone else, the next guy in the line. It went, and this is where it differs from the actual DC Comics canon, because Smallville is a different universe.
Yeah.
But Hal Jordan's ring went to Guy Gardner, who then died in battle. Then it went to Kyle Rayner, who died. Then it went to John Stewart, who lived. And
Huh.
that's the basic story of it, which is pretty interesting, I thought. And it's really, I mean, you see, Sinestro is not in the story, but he's mentioned, and the big villain of all of that is Parallax,
Hmm.
and which
So
is,
ruined in that Green Lantern
oh
movie.
yeah,
Oh God.
Parallax should never have been the villain anyway. That
No.
didn't make any sense. I
Oh,
mean,
like
first of all, on the big screen, a villain like Parallax just can't be done. That's like
that.
how they tried to do Galactus in the Fantastic Four movie.
Yes,
You
and he
see
was
that?
just like a cloud or
That's
something.
exactly what Parallax was. He was a
Yeah.
cloud. You can't, because you can't portray it like it is in the comic books, because if you do, it looks bad. But if you do it any other way on screen, it looks bad too.
They could
And
just
you
make it like a
know,
virus that infects Hal Jordan and made him go evil or something, right? But it's a dumb villain to have in an origin movie because I mean, no one else like why would they have such a big villain and he's able to defeat it and throw it in the sun and like
yeah.
it's just dumb. Like the actual Green Lantern Secret Origin book that's somewhat goes with the movie, they were fighting atrocious on Earth, and then Black Hand kind of showed up or something.
See,
But
that would be
he
that
was
would
way better. Like,
that would be a great villain for it,
yeah,
Atrocious.
he was. Well,
And
he
he introduced
was,
the Red Lanterns and all of that.
and he
But
wasn't a Red Lantern yet. But
oh,
he
he
was
wasn't. Oh,
after. No,
okay.
not yet. He was after because this is way before the Sinestro Corps War and all that. Because
Yeah.
that's when he became after he became a Red Lantern.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
after Black Hand because he of the prophecy of Darkest Night, and so yeah, he was after Black Hand and Green and Hal Jordan and Sinestro were trying to stop him. And that was just a way better book. And for the first half of the movie did follow it, but then the last half was just completely different and horrible.
See, I think they should have just left Parallax out of the whole movie, and you get rid of was it Hector Hammond?
Yeah, it was him.
Yeah, you get rid of him too, right? And you just focus on Sinestro and Hal Jordan. Those are your two, your heroes, Hal Jordan. Your villain, who's not a villain at first but becomes a villain towards the end, is Sinestro. And you focus on their relationship and everything like that, because they're very complex characters and their relationship is incredibly interesting.
It is, and that's why
And and they
if
they literally had, it was like 4 minutes of them talking. That's it.
I know.
That 4 minute scene.
And the book was not like that at all because they were fighting the entire time, fighting atrocious. And the big thing was that Hal Jordan, could then use his ring against Yellow, right? Because the
Yeah.
rookies can't. Um, but that's the reason why I would feel very sad if Hal Jordan wasn't in the DC universe, and he wasn't going to be. That Justice League Mortal movie, they were going to
Yeah,
have Jon
they were
Stewart.
using Jon Stewart, and they had the Common cast in the role, who coincidentally, well, he's an actor now, and he has been in a few movies. But at the time, I believe that would have been his first movie that he had
Interesting.
done, because he was a rapper. But he has been in a few movies now, and he's not bad. He's not good, but he's not bad.
Hmm. But if they didn't have Hal Jordan, I just think they would lose something because then they wouldn't have the relationship with Sinestro, and that is what makes Sinestro so interesting. Is his relationship with Hal Jordan because they
Yep.
still like each other even though they hate each other, you know. And I don't know, Sinestro's he is an interesting villain to have. So
I Sinestro. I've always said this, and I will stick to it like to the T. But there are two characters and actors that I would go against it for. But I've always said that if you reboot something, you get rid of every actor you had in the original,
yeah, you
because
have to.
if you bring them over, people think it's connected. But there are
Yeah.
two actors and two characters that I would completely throw that rule out the window for, and that's Mark Strong as Sinestro and J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson in the Spider-Man movies.
Hmm.
I would throw that rule out the window for both of them. Because I mean, did you see the recent Spider-Man movie?
I did, yeah.
Did you the scenes where Peter Parker is getting text messages from J. Jonah Jameson? When those flash on the screen, all I heard was J.K. Simmons' voice. That's all
Huh.
I heard. You know, so it's. I mean, this he's not. Obviously, Spider-Man's not DC, but that's going to be a very hard character to replace, and the same
Yeah.
goes for Sinestro.
Yeah, it is. It is going to be very hard. Usually how they do it is like what they'll if they ever have the Joker is that they have a completely different kind of interpretation of the character.
Yeah.
But I don't know how they do that with Sinestro. Like with the Joker, they could. Like they could
Well,
make him more
there's
ha ha, you
yeah.
know?
Well, there's completely different versions of the Joker.
I
With
know, but there
Sinestro,
isn't really
there's
Sinestro.
one version of Sinestro,
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
Joker is so varied over time. Like, I mean, they could still have him be, like the psycho killer clown, but still have the ha ha where he wants to
Yeah.
make jokes and, pretend to cut off people's faces just
Sort
for
of like the
not do it.
sort of like the Arkham games did. A
Yeah.
mix between both of those.
Or yeah, like the Batman animated series or
Yeah.
something or the Arkham games. I mean, they could do that with the Joker and it would work and it would be different enough from Heath Ledger that people wouldn't compare them a lot.
Yeah.
Well, people still would, but it would be so different that people would still like both.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think
I mean,
that's if they. I mean, obviously they're going to reintroduce the Joker. You have to. You can't have Batman without the
no,
Joker. And they're not. I mean, Joker is probably him and Lex Luthor are the most famous DC Comics villains. So you got to have them there.
and they are
And
going with very different interpretation of Lex.
oh yeah, well
What
they're
we've seen,
going.
which is good.
Yeah, well, they have to.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't make sense to have the Gene Hackman version of Lex Luthor in a modern day setting. I mean, they did it in Superman Returns, and I liked Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor. But that made sense in Superman Returns, though, because that was technically a sequel to the Christopher Reeve movies.
Yeah.
But now it's not. Man of Steel set it up that this is the modern world. And in the modern world, the villain main motive is not going to be real estate. So it's
No.
got to be something else.
Yeah.
And I also like the rumor going around with Lex Luthor that he's a tech mogul. That he's sort of LexCorp is like Facebook and Google in a way.
Yeah. And it feels that way from, what we've seen of even just of the building kind of, it kind of
Yeah.
feels sort of, new and trendy kind of science.
The logo looks like it too. The
Yeah.
logo's very trendy. You
Yeah.
know, I still would prefer the L instead of an X, but I'll get
They,
over that, I guess.
they had the L in Man of Steel.
They did have the L in Man
Yeah.
of Steel.
So
Yeah.
maybe they'll have different logos, so you'll get both. Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, we got time here, so I'll pick on another question because I feel like we haven't gone as long as we did before. Let's see here. Oh, here's one. Okay. James Dunn asks two-part question regarding Aquaman. How will we see him in the film, and will he be more of an anti-hero? What do you think of this?
At first, I just want to say I am very excited if Jason Momoa is cast. I mean, we don't know for sure yet because they have not said anything, but obviously it's pretty much.
Yeah, you look at his interview on I mean before his appearance on Jimmy Kimmel, he flat out denied it every chance
Yeah.
he had. When Jimmy Kimmel brought up that Variety article to Jason Momoa, he didn't deny it. He just said, "Well, that'd be pretty cool if it was true."
Yeah, he said,
You know,
well, it's just rumors, but I don't know. Do you think I am? It'd be
he didn't
cool.
even say it was rumors. He didn't even acknowledge that it was either a rumor or it was true. He just said that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Which is pretty much
Which
saying
is
that he's it.
yeah, because I think
I,
he realized once Variety reports on it, it's out
yeah,
there for everybody now. You know,
you can't really deny it. When he was first, it was back in December that they were like, oh, Jason Momoa kind of thing, you know, and I was
yeah.
like, people were saying, oh, maybe he's this guy, maybe he's this guy. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And I didn't really think anything of it because there's so many rumors back then. And
See, I thought when it was first rumored that he was Aquaman, I thought that was
when,
completely
yeah, but
completely
then in
crap. I
January,
thought he'd be Martian Manhunter, if
see, and then
anything.
well, I didn't really think he was. I didn't really believe any of the rumors that he was for sure anybody until
Yeah,
they said he was Aquaman. When that came out, I was like, it's true. It has to be true because he's such. It's not a fan cast. Saying Jason
no, it's
Momoa's
not.
Aquaman is not like it's not something that people would think,
No
right?
one,
Because
no one had that in their picks.
no one had
Nobody.
that their pick, right? So when they said Jason Momoa's Aquaman, I was like, it's true, and I felt that it was true because one, it was didn't sound like a fan cast, and two, it sounded like something WB would do to try and make Aquaman seem in the general public not lame. Aquaman
Yeah,
is not lame at all, but he has this people have this opinion of him
because the Super Friends. Yeah,
because of the
yeah.
super fans and it continues on with Family Guy and all that stuff that he's lame and useless and blah blah blah. So once Jason Momoa's name was tied to Aquaman, I was like, it has to be true
Oh yeah, yeah. And
because
I
I
hope it
could
is.
see WB doing this just just because it's a way to introduce the character and people look at him in a different way.
Well, he's also perfect for that type of because Aquaman's both a king and he's got that royalty, very,
Mhm.
regal side to him. But he's also like Wonder Woman in the term that besides the regal side, he's got that warrior side as well. And Jason Momoa can definitely play a warrior. You
Yes.
know,
And I think that he, like, besides him having darker hair, he looks fine as Aquaman. I mean, he's tall, he's got a great, body. I mean, he looks like a superhero already. Not that they can't already bulk up, but
yeah.
that,
I
and
mean, he
I
doesn't have
really,
to. He doesn't have to
no,
bulk up. The
no,
guy's
not at
already
all.
huge.
He already is huge. And I also really like him as an actor. Like, I find him very intense. And I know a lot of people don't like some of the movies he's been in,
Yeah.
but I've actually really liked everything he's been in.
I didn't like Conan, the
You didn't
recent
like Conan?
Conan movie.
I didn't
I,
like
I
the
didn't
movie
like it.
that much.
I did not think he was bad in it. He
No,
was he was good. The movie just I didn't like it. I prefer the Arnold Schwarzenegger version of the character, but that's probably just nostalgia for me
probably.
because that was the first one I saw.
I have not seen the Arnold Schwarzenegger one, or if I
It's
have, it's been a long time.
it's
But I
really
didn't.
good. Just don't expect Arnold to talk much because he didn't speak English that well at the time.
I
I mean,
didn't like
basically
it.
Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Conan movie, he grunts quite a bit. He grunts, and if he does say something, it's like one or two words
Huh.
because he had just started learning English. So
That's kind of entertaining. I didn't like the Conan movie a lot. Like, I didn't dislike it. I just thought, I mean, it was an okay movie, but I did like him in it.
he was really good, and the movie itself wasn't. He hasn't done a movie really that is great. He's done great TV shows, but he hasn't
Yeah,
done a great movie. But he was in a movie with Sylvester Stallone called Bullet to the Head.
yeah.
And I actually enjoyed that movie. It wasn't
Seen
good.
that.
It wasn't great, but it wasn't awful. I thought it was pretty good. And he played the villain in that, and he was really good in it. He was really good. And he had this one fight scene with Sylvester Stallone that he fought with this like in part of it with this metal bar sort of thing. And if you watch that scene, I can definitely see him swinging a trident around.
Interesting.
So
So I've been hoping and praying that it is true since January, and now I'm pretty sure it is true, obviously. So yeah, I'm excited for that. As far as him being an anti-hero, I personally think it would be kind of interesting if I don't know if they'll do this or not, but if they sort of had the Atlanteans as kind of villains, not Aquaman himself as a villain, but
like
the Atlanteans.
Ocean Master maybe or Black
Yeah, maybe.
Manta.
And then he has to like be the reluctant hero and come back and defeat his brother and become king
Yeah.
again or something like that. I don't really know if I like the idea of him being a terrorist as much
Well, they had
because
that. They had in the fake Batman versus Superman script. It opened up with Aquaman and Mira, and they had this like little. It wasn't an army, but it was more of like a like maybe 20 Atlanteans with them, and they basically destroyed or tried to destroy an oil rig, and Superman stopped them in that scene, but they look at Superman as the bad guy
yeah,
in a way because he let the world engine destroy the Indian Ocean almost. So they look at him as a bad guy, not a good guy, you know. But they also really respect him. You can tell there's like in that fake, and they obviously it's not a real scene, but in the scene in the script, you can tell there's a level of respect between Superman and Aquaman.
hmm.
They just don't like each other very much.
Yeah. I don't know. I
But
don't know how I want
he
Aquaman
is
portrayed.
he is how you would like you said, a terrorist in a way in that scene.
Yeah.
But he doesn't see it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at it, that's that famous
That's an
saying,
anti-hero
"What
kind of.
one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter," and he looks at it the way that he is fighting for the Atlanteans, you know, which is, he is, you know, which makes sense, I
It's a
suppose. I
line.
mean, it would also make sense that he would be incredibly angry about the Indian Ocean incident, you know.
Yeah. It's a line like you want to show them being strong and fighting for their values and stuff like that, but you don't want to really show them killing innocent people either, right? Because then that
Yeah.
people aren't gonna like the hero. So as long as they find a medium somewhere, I guess in between.
Well, I think he'll start out as an anti-hero in a way, but then he'll, along his, evolution as a character, he'll become the Aquaman that we know. The one that protects everybody and not just Atlanteans.
I'm very excited to see Aquaman though. That is very exciting. Like we don't know for sure that he's in it, but it's pretty much guaranteed, pretty much, that we do have an idea that he will be.
Well, I don't know if this is true or not. I'm not sure if I might have read this completely wrong, but I I could have sworn that El Mayambe, who runs Latino Review, the website that believed the fake Superman script, but he tweeted that I could have sworn this is what the tweet said, but I could be completely wrong. I don't think we posted it to the page. I have not seen anybody reporting on this, so I probably did read it wrong. But from what I read, he said that he was on a plane heading to Detroit, and Jason Momoa was on that plane as well.
That'd be
I
cool.
don't, but I've never seen anyone report that, so it could be. I probably read that completely wrong. But if he was heading to Detroit, they're filming it in Detroit.
Yeah,
So
interesting.
if he's there, he's filming. So, and if
I'll have
he
to
is,
look
I
for
mean,
that.
they're filming right now, they're filming Batman versus Superman. So if he is in it, he's in one scene as,
Yeah,
as a cameo, and then he's in the Justice League movie, which, if the rumors are to be believed, they are filming them back to back, which would make a lot of sense given the rumored release dates as well. So if they are filming them back to back, he's in Detroit for quite a while too. Jason Momoa, they all are, the entire cast, and that's why I think if they are filming them back to back, we're gonna get every single casting announcement at Comic Con. We're gonna get it all. We're gonna get the
I hope
entire
so.
Justice League announced.
I hope so.
Well, because they would be filming it if they're filming it back to back. The way it goes, they would probably be filming Batman versus Superman. They started about a month ago, so they'd probably continue filming it until August or September, and then they would start filming Justice League. So I don't think they want it leaked, the information, like this guy's playing. They already had it with Jason Momoa, obviously, if that's true, which it probably is. I don't think they want any more leaked. I think they're going to do an official announcement at Comic Con regarding everybody.
I hope so. I hope they
And
announce the Flash and Green Lantern and all that.
yeah,
So
and I
we know.
wouldn't be surprised if they do what Marvel did with the Avengers and they bring them all out on stage.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they take because they're all filming right now. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do what they just take 2 days off of filming and fly out to Comic Con. You know, they did it with the Marvel did it last year with the Guardians. They were only filmed. They just started filming in England when they
Yeah.
had Comic Con, and they basically were filming for a week, and they flew into Comic Con and they brought them out. They brought them all out on stage, and then they did it with Fox. Did it with the X-Men cast. They brought them all out on stage. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do it with Justice League and we
I,
see them all on
sh-
stage together.
I sure hope so.
They at least, if they don't do that, they at least will probably do the Trinity.
Or yeah, that or and announce for sure the upcoming movies.
Yeah, well, that's the reported announcement by Nikki Fink, who
Yeah, that's right.
and she has the whole list, and
Yeah.
that seems pretty plausible, I suppose. Some of the release dates seem like they might get changed along the way.
Yeah. I mean, Man of Steel and Batman v Superman were both
Yeah,
changed. So, I mean, it's completely possible that they'd get, you
I
know,
mean, people forget that the Marvel movies, the three of them were moved up 1 year each, and that was Thor, Captain America, Thor, and the Avengers were all moved up 1 year because they couldn't meet the dates.
like moved back, like moved from 20.
Moved from like I what did Captain America came out 2011. It was originally supposed to come out 2010 with Thor coming out in 2009
Oh,
and the
okay.
Avengers coming out 2011, but they couldn't meet those dates, so they moved it. They moved
Which
it each
happens.
movie
Yeah.
up a year.
Which happens all the time. I
Yeah,
mean, there's a lot of things that could happen that would make that them have
and
to change the dates.
yeah, and Man of Steel was originally supposed to come out before The Dark Knight Rises.
Yes, 2012 is supposed to
Yeah,
come. And it got pushed till 2013. Yeah.
I am glad it got pushed though, because if it came out before The Dark Knight Rises, I guarantee you, so many people would think it was in the same universe.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's true. And back then, were they for sure doing two separate? Were they for sure saying this is the same
I
universe?
don't even think they for sure knew they were doing a cinematic universe
Yeah.
when they were making Man of Steel. I think that was their hope to do one, but I mean, if that movie failed financially, they wouldn't have made another one,
No.
you know. So I think that was their hope for this to be the launching point of a DC universe, but I don't think they knew for certain. And I think they did know at the time that Christian Bale and Christopher Nolan that they were done after The
Yeah.
Dark Knight Rises because they said it themselves. And Christian Bale said I will only come back to do another one if Christopher Nolan came back, and Christopher Nolan didn't want to come back, so Christian Bale didn't want to come back.
Which I mean, I kind of
So,
like. I like that they're not connected, but
well, it
that's
makes
just
sense. I mean, Christian Bale's Batman. Well, I love Christian Bale's Batman. It's currently until we see Ben Affleck, maybe he's better, but it's currently my favorite incarnation in live action in terms of the character.
yeah.
But he would not last a day
No.
against in the Man of Steel universe. I mean, the guy in The Dark Knight Rises was completely shattered head to toe in terms of his bones. I don't even see how he fought Bane, but somehow he managed it. I mean, he did get his back broken, so he didn't do so hot against Bane either. I mean, he couldn't go up against Superman.
No. The one
He
thing I did like.
Superman would snap him like a twig. So they're
Yeah. And I mean, he doesn't have the planning everything out and the being, 5 steps ahead of everybody like he is, like
yeah,
the reason why Batman works in the Justice League is because he is 5 steps ahead of
yeah,
everybody and he has plans for everybody. I mean, like look at an Injustice when he had uploaded the virus in a cyborg the same week that they met and then he uses it 5 years or 10 years later, right?
yeah.
Like, I mean, that's the kind of Batman that we need. That's the only way that Batman would be, able to be in the Justice League with all these other characters that have all these superpowers. Or
Yeah.
so, I mean, you have to have the Justice League Doom, Tower of Babel kind of character. So
That's we talked about earlier with Tower of Babel. I just thought of this. We talked about like we mentioned it, the Justice League Mortal movie that was the canceled Justice League movie.
yeah,
That was if I've that was based on or loosely based on Tower of Babel.
I hope they do Tower of Babel a lot in the DC universe. I really hope that
Oh, they have to. I think
they have to.
I think Batman um v Superman is gonna, at least I hope it is. If not, I mean, they don't have to go the route with Marvel with an end credit scene. They could just have it at the end before the credits.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping the last scene is like either Batman with his contingency plans all laid out,
Yeah.
or Superman giving him a piece of kryptonite
Yeah.
or
One or other.
something like that. Something to set up that he does have these contingency plans. I would like though to see like there was I can't remember what issue it was, but in the new 52 Justice League, there's an issue with all of his. He has like all of his contingency plans laid out on a table.
Yeah. Yeah.
That I think that's how it should end, because not only does that show that he has contingency plans, but it also sets up that there are all these other heroes. You know,
Yeah.
and
Cool.
that's what Batman v Superman is trying to do, is to show you not only is there Batman, Superman, but there's Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, The Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg. There's everybody's here, you know? So, yeah. I hope they do show all of the contingency plans.
Yeah. That would be really cool. Oh, it's exciting.
It's really exciting. I can't wait till 2016 to see this movie. I'm hoping there's this rumor, and I'm hoping, I don't think it's true, but I'm hoping it is, that they actually are releasing it in 2015.
I don't think it's true. It'd be cool if it
I
was.
don't think they can
I
make
don't
it.
think it is.
I don't
I
think
don't.
they can make it. If they're filming it back to back, there's no way they can, at least not, they would have to, Zack Snyder would have to drop out of doing Justice League.
Which
If
would
they
be.
were doing this, they would have to have another guy do Justice League, because he's filming, if the rumors are to be believed, he's filming them back to back,
And the
which
rumors are
means that
that.
he's going to film Batman versus Superman, and then directly after they finish that, he's not going to go into post production. He's going to film Justice League right after, and then they're going to do post production on both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but if they do that, that means all this year is filming, like from now till
Christmas.
December, you know? And then in 2015, that's all post production. And maybe like reshoots if they need to do some. But
I'd
it,
rather have it in 2016 and have Zack Snyder direct both, just
yeah,
because
me
I think
too.
it'd be more of a fluid, trilogy kind of
Yeah,
setup. I'd
yeah, me
rather
too.
and have a better movie, but that's just me. And I don't think it's really true. Like the reason why people are saying it is because they're saying, well, there's like I think part of the
They don't,
rumors
a lot of people don't understand how long it takes to film and do post production, especially on a movie like this.
that and they're saying that they're already releasing pictures and stuff like that, the
Yeah,
Batman, Superman, so they're already like what's it called,
they're
marketing.
marketing, and there's a
It
reason they're doing it so early. It's not because they're
years
ready. There's a reason they're doing it so early. It's
because
not
they don't
because they're ready to
release.
release it. It's because they realize that Marvel's going to be releasing everything at Comic Con.
That
Everything, all their marketing for Avengers is coming at Comic Con. They're gonna, we'll get the first. I guarantee you, the very first full trailer for Avengers: Age of Ultron. You know, and they realize that. Warner Brothers knows that, so
but they gotta keep
they're releasing everything now too,
they gotta keep
because it's
people
a
talking
competition.
about
It's
it. Yeah.
people. It's a competition. It's a marketing competition going on,
Yeah.
and they want to win. You know,
I really hope that they release a lot of stuff in 2 weeks. Oh, 2 weeks. I'm marking my
I
calendar.
think we'll see three things at Comic Con. Three things. We'll see a teaser trailer. Be it maybe it's just a logo with like how they did the Age of Ultron teaser trailer last year. Marvel did with some voiceover.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just that. Maybe it's something more because they have been filming for a while. Maybe they'll show actual footage. I don't think they will, but maybe they will. I think the next thing we'll see is the whole slate of movies announced. And then I think we'll see the entire Justice League come out on stage.
Yeah. The teaser trailer, I could, take it or leave it yet. As long as, well, it'd be kind of cool if they showed like Ben Affleck in the bat suit or something
Yeah.
and, kind of thing. And maybe he's making a plan or something. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool. But the whole cast, that's what I want to know. I want to know the whole cast. I want the whole, is the TV series connected to the movies to be settled? Yes or no. I just want it to be settled.
I don't think, unless they announce the cast,
You
which they
won't.
probably will, but unless they do that, it's not going to be settled.
No, and that's
They
why I
have
want it
to
to be
announce. They
settled.
have to announce who is playing the Flash.
If they announce who's the
The
Flash,
minute they do that is the
yeah,
minute it's settled.
yeah. and I want that to be settled. And so I want them to announce the Flash, and I want to know the movie's coming up. Those are the two things that I want really bad. And I want to see what Wonder Woman looks like. But
Oh, me too. And I that's something I don't think
I could
we
wait a
will
year
see at
to see.
Comic Con. I don't think we're gonna see that. I hope we see that at Comic Con,
I'd
but
be
I
okay
don't
with
think
waiting
we
till.
will. I think we're gonna see those three things. I think they're gonna wait a little while to show Wonder Woman,
Yeah,
just
I
because
could.
me personally, I don't think they've taken a lot of good pictures of her yet in the suit because Zack Snyder has said that she is still working out. They
Yeah,
haven't. He said recently they haven't filmed anything
her
with
just
Wonder Woman
one,
yet.
just as Diane.
They filmed stuff with her as Diana, but not as Wonder Woman. She's
Yeah,
still bulking up. So I think they're waiting till she's completely bulked to the point that you know, that they need her to be to release a picture of her in the suit.
I'd be okay with. Like you gotta have some stuff that you don't see till you see the movie, because otherwise it's like
Yeah,
you gotta
well,
have some
she's
stuff.
gonna be. I mean, she's obviously gonna be on the posters. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
when it does come out, you're gonna see a poster with Wonder Woman on it. So so that's gonna be revealed either way. I mean, they're gonna market it with three heroes: Superman,
yeah,
Batman, and Wonder
that's
Woman.
true.
You know,
And
so
heavy Batman and Superman for
yeah,
sure.
oh yeah, and Wonder Woman will. I mean, Wonder Woman isn't gonna be in the movie a main focus. She'll be how Black Widow was in Iron Man 2. She'll kind of be a side character, but still a big part of the movie, even so. So, that's at least that's how I see it.
Maybe Aquaman will be the surprise that like surprise look that we don't know yet. That'd be
I
kind of
don't
cool,
think
like
they're
the suit. Or
I don't think they're gonna reveal Aquaman's look until we see the movie.
I hope that they don't. Like I hope that they leave someone's look till the movie, and it'd be cool if they left Aquaman's.
I don't think they're gonna reveal anybody's. I don't think they're gonna reveal anybody except Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. They've
Yeah,
already revealed Superman and Batman, so Wonder Woman's the only one left. I
yeah,
don't think they're gonna reveal the others though, because they're just cameos if
yeah,
they're even in it. You know,
yeah. I mean, they
so
could. I mean, they could be just in Justice League. We really don't know that
they
they
could
are in
be. I could
Batman v
see
Superman.
Aquaman might. I mean, I do think that that Jason Momoa, who is rumored, is going to be Aquaman, and I think he'll be it. I think he'll have one scene at least in Batman versus Superman. But I mean, the Flash and Green Lantern, they might not be in it.
No, they might not.
You could have maybe a scene in a police station with Barry Allen as like a forensics expert. You could have that, but you might not see him as the Flash.
Yeah. Or if the rumor of him on security footage, that might be it, right?
Yeah, and
And
that
you don't
I
even
mean,
see him
yeah,
really.
or it could just be mentioned.
Yeah.
Batman or Superman or somebody could just throw up there that there's this really fast guy in Central City. You
Yeah.
know, the same goes for Hal Jordan. I mean, Green Lantern. I don't think we'll see him until Justice League.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see him in Batman v Superman. I don't think we need to see him in
No, well, they
Batman
can't
v
introduce
Superman.
too many. Like they got it. They can't introduce everybody in this movie yet, right? Gotta leave some for Justice
I
League.
could see him being mentioned, just like a one-off comment of, "There's this guy who wears green and he flies around in the sky" or something,
Yeah.
But or we see like a scene because in Man of Steel they had those fighter pilots and the jets and
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
that. Hal Jordan's a pilot and he's in the military,
Yeah. That could work too.
so
Sure. You never know.
we could see that because Hal Jordan is a fighter pilot.
Yeah.
And that goes
That's a
with
good idea.
something that goes with this is not recent, this was months ago, but it was something that this is a month ago, not months ago, but a month ago. There's this guy, I'll pull up his name real quick. He's listed on IMDb on the Batman v Superman movie, and he's listed as a drone pilot.
Hmm.
And a lot of people are speculating that he's Hal Jordan. Personally, I don't think he is,
I
but
don't think he is.
a lot of his name's Dan Boyer. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name right. I know I'm pronouncing Dan right, but I don't know about his last name. But if anything, he's what like Christopher Maloney was in the first one. He's like a big military character, but I don't think he's one of the Justice League.
No, I don't think he is either. Well, he's not. I mean, there's something like they do cast unknown actors. Ray
Yeah,
Fisher, Cyborg is unknown, but he's also he's been in, on stage. He's done the theater, right?
Yeah,
And
well,
Gal
he
Gadot,
has. Hang on, I'll pull up his IMDb. He's been in some stuff. This
yeah,
guy, he has not been in anything huge, which does not mean anything.
no,
I mean, you look at like you mentioned Ray Fisher, who technically is not confirmed yet,
no,
but
but we
just
pretty
like
much,
Momoa,
it's
it's
pretty much,
pretty much done. It's a done deal almost. So he's probably in it, but he has done a lot of theater, and Hugh Jackman did a lot of theater before he was
yeah.
Wolverine.
And Hugh Jackman was not known before Wolverine.
No, he wasn't. But that's the thing. If you get a theater actors are probably
Are
the
great.
best. They're
Yeah,
like the best actors because they have to get everything right.
that's what Kevin
They
Conroy
have
did
no
before
takes.
Batman.
Did he really?
Yeah, he was a theater
Oh,
actor.
you're right. Yeah, he was because I remember listening to his Fat Man on Batman interview with Kevin Smith,
Yeah,
and he said he was part of. He went to I think he said Juilliard,
yeah.
and coincidentally, Christopher Reeve went to the exact same school as him,
And
and
so did Robin
they
Williams or something.
so I think did he say Robin Williams was his roommate?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
it is cool. But anyways, yeah.
But yeah,
So
but this guy, this Dan and Boyer guy, he's been in a couple like TV shows.
yeah,
He has not been in a movie. This would be his very first movie.
I wouldn't say he's not Hal Jordan, but we have no reason to really believe he is either. Joe Pilot doesn't really mean much. He could just be a bit role.
He could be.
He could be, like we really don't know.
He could be like Carrie Ferris in the first in Man of
Yeah,
Steel.
exactly.
He could just
So
be in a few scenes and he's a military person, or he could be a big character. I don't
he
think
could
he
be.
is, but he could be. If he is a big character, I don't think he's Hal Jordan. If he is a big character, I would say Steve Trevor
He could be. That's actually
because
what, like,
he's got
yeah,
the look. I mean, Hal Jordan, you can obviously change a character's appearance. They were doing it with Jason Momoa,
yeah,
but I don't know. I think he could be Steve Trevor, and it would make sense that Steve Trevor would be in this movie because
yeah.
Wonder Woman's there.
What's in it? Yeah. It'd make more sense for it to be him. I like when you first hear pilot, you think, oh, Hal
You
Jordan,
think
right?
Hal
But Steve
Jordan?
Trevor, you
Yeah,
forget about, and he is an
he's
important
also a
too.
pilot, and he's also in the military,
Yeah,
or he was. Now he's like a or he political liaison in a way.
yeah.
And in the New 52, he works for Argus.
I really like him in the New 52.
Yeah, he's cool in New 52. But I've always said if Steve Trevor was going to be in it, that there's one guy who I see playing that role, and he's already been a DC character. So a lot of people would say, "Oh, but you can only play one comic book character in your entire
Doesn't
career,"
matter if they're not
you
connected.
know. But it's Aaron Eckhart who
Oh
played
yeah,
Two
yeah,
Face.
yeah. He
He
would be
played
good.
Two Face, and I see him doing a very good job in that role.
Yeah, I could see it. I like him as an actor a lot. So
He's good. His
yeah.
last movie sucked, but he wasn't bad in it. Just an awful story. That I
Oh,
Frankenstein movie.
I haven't seen it.
I I saw it. It just came out recently. I saw it on DVD. Oh God, I shouldn't have even watched it. It's just bad.
That's funny.
I wasted like an hour and a half of my day.
And you'll never get back.
Yeah,
But yeah, like as far as like casting previous actors, as long as they're not playing the same role and it's a different universe, it doesn't matter.
yeah.
Like if they played say Superman before and they're playing Superman again, but it's a different universe, I don't like that.
No,
That'd
that's
be
like the
confusing.
people when Man of Steel was first announced. Everyone, Tom Welling should play the role.
Yeah, and I don't like that at all. I don't like that idea.
I don't think he'd be bad in the
No,
role,
it has nothing to do with that. It's just that
but people would be saying, so this
small.
is a Smallville sequel.
Yeah,
This is after Smallville. This is him as Superman. You
and I
know,
don't like that at all. Yeah, as long as
it's
they're
the
playing a
same thing.
different character.
It's the same thing that is going around now with people, um, saying, okay, well, let's say Arrow is not connected to the DC cinematic universe. We can still have Stephen Amell play Green Arrow and Grant
No,
Gustin play the Flash. They can still be there. They just won't be connected.
no, it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't, because this is what it's going to cause. This is what the confusion is going to be. Okay, well, the Flash is in this. He's played by Grant Gustin. Let me go now watch the TV show because that's the same character.
Yeah,
You know? A lot of people won't watch the TV show simply because,
it's a lot of people don't
it's a
watch
lot
TV.
of people don't want to watch. what, the Flash going to have 22 episodes like Arrow, I think.
Yeah.
People don't want to watch 22 episodes just to be able to understand a character.
No, and they shouldn't have to.
You're
That's
right. They shouldn't.
if it does connect, they shouldn't have to watch the TV shows. If they do connect it at all, like that's what I don't. I mean, I'm not dissing Marvel at all, but with having the TV show connected to Captain America, I know people like it because it's connected. But if you can't watch the show because of spoilers or
Yeah.
whatever, I don't like that at all. Like I just like you have to be able to watch both and not have to watch the other because people don't have time to watch everything, and people aren't going to, except for the comic book
Yeah.
fans. And there are other
I don't
people
even
there.
watch Agents of Shield.
No, and so I know like with people they watch the Agents of Shield episode before they got to see the movie. And that's the other thing is people not everyone can go see the movie when it's the opening weekend.
Yeah, I
Some
know.
people just
Yeah.
can't.
And then
So
you can't watch Shield that week.
yeah, like and I don't like that at all. I don't like that plan.
I look, I tried to watch Agent of Shield when it first came on, and I got through the first 3 episodes,
Me too. First three
and I
episodes.
just couldn't watch it after that. The show just it just isn't good in my opinion. But then I heard after Captain America, oh, but it gets better. Watch the episode after Captain America. I watched that episode. It was just as bad.
Yeah, really. I
At
haven't
least
seen
in my
that.
opinion, it was. I don't. The thing that they have in that show that is the worst thing you could possibly have is boring characters.
Oh, that sucks.
The characters have no personality. They're very one dimensional. And then they tried to change it. They made one of the characters go evil, but even that didn't really change him that much. He's still the same one dimensional character.
Oh.
So it just, and that's the thing that Arrow does extremely well that
Arrow
Agents of
doesn't have
Shield
that.
doesn't, is all of their characters are so fleshed out in terms of their personalities that it works. And people
Yeah.
will, people will say, oh well, it's just Agents of Shield's first season. Give them time.
But
Arrow's
your first season was good.
Oliver Queen was interesting in the pilot.
Yeah, he
You
was.
know,
Yeah. I mean, I like Arrow a lot. I've only seen the first season. I haven't seen the second because
you
I
haven't seen the second?
no, because I didn't have the channel until
Oh well,
and
I
so I
don't know.
didn't
I
watch
think
it when it
it's
first came out, but I bought the first season, and so I'll just buy the second season
yeah.
in September, and then
The second season's even better than the first.
yeah, I've
It
heard
gets Deathstroke is one of the greatest villains on TV.
the first season is great though. My husband doesn't really like it because he thinks it's a little bit too much like slop opera-ish melodrama.
It is in the first
It
season.
is in
It's
the first
very
season,
CW in the first season,
and I don't really
but
like that about CW channel.
in the second season it still has that, but it doesn't have it as much.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, you gotta have some of the drama, but he felt that it was a little too much, so he wouldn't watch it with me.
Well, that's
But
because CW caters to the younger
it
teen
does.
demographic. That's why Grant Gustin is the Flash because he's a
And I
younger
like that
guy.
actually. I don't know why, but there's something about Grant Gustin being casted as the Flash that I
He
really like.
definitely fits it. He fits
I
the
just
character.
I do. I really like it. Like I like that they're going with that with for the TV show at least, the younger kind of route and I don't
Yeah.
know. I like
I like that he's not a hero. He's not when he first
yeah.
started. He's just a guy who likes superheroes. He's like a fanboy, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then he's becoming the exact thing that he idolizes, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
It is cool. But I really like Arrow. Like what I've
It
seen the
gets
first
yeah,
season.
believe me, it gets like twice, 3 times maybe as good as in the second season.
Yeah. Huh.
Especially when because in the next season, Slade is the main villain,
Yeah.
Slade Wilson, and Malcolm Merlin's great. I think Slade's like 2 times better.
Huh. Cool. I am very excited for when it gets released in September. But then I'm going to be watching like 22 episodes in like a few days, a few weeks.
Yeah,
Can watch that because I will have the channel come then. But
yeah, and they have what are they October 8th, I
October 8th,
think. Yeah, and
yeah.
then October 7th is The Flash, which is my birthday, which is a nice birthday present.
That is great.
I've already seen the Flash pilot though, so but I want it to get on TV
Yeah.
when it comes out because that got leaked online, obviously.
Yeah.
Then the Constantine pilot apparently got leaked too. I
I
didn't know
didn't get
that.
to see that.
I didn't
No.
even know. I can't find it. I don't know. I tried to find it, That they'll probably end up doing a completely different pilot now for Constantine, though.
I heard that they're not though. I heard that she's still going to be the like the character,
Oh, is she?
just writing her character out of the show
See,
and then
but
introducing a new character.
that's so weird though, because I heard that um the character that they replaced in the show is so key to the show, introducing the pilot
So
as
maybe
this
she was never really.
completely central character. How do you write someone out like that?
I don't know, but they're introducing the other female, that Zed, that is
Zed, yeah,
actually
that is from the comic books.
yeah in the comics. I don't know how they do that. And was it just creative differences that she wanted to leave the show? Must have been.
I just didn't work out, I guess. I mean, it happens all the time in pilots. People get replaced, you know. But normally, they don't bring in an entirely different character. They just replace the actress, you know. So something went on and they changed their entire story,
And which is,
you
I
know.
mean, they do refilm pilots, but I don't know.
I mean, I mean, and there's so I mean, I can think of lots of examples of pilots where different cast members are in it, and they're just like you look at the old Star Trek pilot. Kirk isn't even a character.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's not a character. In the original unaired pilot, Kirk doesn't exist. Or he does, I guess he does exist in that universe because he's in the actual pilot. But he isn't in the pilot. It's Captain Pike,
Huh.
who is the main captain of the Enterprise. And then in the actual aired pilot, they replaced his character with Kirk.
So I wonder why they're going with the casting a new female lead, a new character, instead of just refilming the pilot with a new actress.
I honestly think they probably will. I don't see how they won't refilm the pilot, just based on what I've heard about the pilot and that character.
Huh.
It wouldn't make sense to me for them not to refilm it, unless they really have a way to write her out and to make it make sense.
Maybe.
I mean, they can't just say, "Oh, well, she's on vacation."
Well, she can't be
You
only
know?
in one episode really either.
Yeah, and from what I hear, they only filmed the pilot with her.
Oh, well, that would be dumb.
That's
She's in
from
one
what I
episode
hear.
and then, well, I don't know where she went.
I mean,
Like,
from what I hear, they're filming the rest of it like soon, like maybe next week or something. I mean, they just started filming the rest of the Flash
yeah.
for everything. They had only filmed the pilot before. Now
Well,
they're
they film the
filming the rest of the
pilot and then
season.
leave it to see if the show will
Yeah,
get picked up, right? That's what they do. Because there's no
yeah,
point filming a bunch of episodes if the show doesn't get picked up.
yeah. There's only one new show. It's based on DC that they had filmed the pilot and like and they're currently filming every other episode. And they started right after the pilot. That was Gotham because
Oh, interesting.
Gotham got picked up immediately.
Yeah.
Gotham before Fox even saw the pilot, they had already picked it up.
And apparently, based on reviews of people who have, are
Yeah,
high up the
I've
industry,
heard
they say
it's
it's great.
one of the best shows coming out this
Yep.
year. And it looks like one of the best shows coming out this
It
year.
does look good. For me, though, based on just the trailers, the one that I was most excited for after watching the trailer is Constantine.
Really?
I like that horror kind of stuff, though. I
I
think that's
was I was originally most excited for Constantine until I saw the trailer for Gotham.
really.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Gotham pulled me in, especially the Penguin.
Yeah,
I'm really excited to see that take on the Penguin.
I'm excited for God. I'm excited for everything, though. I mean, I watched the pilot of The Flash that leaked online, and it was great, and everything. I don't
I
know. It's
liked
gonna
it.
be
I
sick.
liked it. I didn't think it was great though. I think it has potential to be great. But I thought it. I mean, I'm not gonna. I won't spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen it. But I thought it felt a bit rushed.
Yeah, I get that. And you saw a lot of it in the trailer,
You
right?
saw a lot of. Yeah, they don't spoil like all the Easter eggs in it, but
No,
the basic story is
is
that
it?
5 minute trailer.
Yeah, is in that trailer. Yeah.
That was a long trailer too. I'm surprised they released something that long.
They shouldn't have, yeah, like they spoiled a little too much of the actual story of the pilot in the trailer, but whatever. It was still good.
I mean, if you watch the trailer, you've seen the pilot basically.
Yeah, exactly. You
You
just have
know
a
the
few cool,
story.
cool Easter eggs and stuff.
Yeah, and there's lots of really good Easter eggs.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say any of them because that would be bad for people who haven't seen it. But yeah, so DC has a lot of good TV shows coming out soon, which is good. And whether they're connected to the movies or not, which they most likely won't be, it doesn't really matter to me. I
No,
just I just want good TV shows and movies.
I don't really care either way if they're connected or not, as long as they're good. It doesn't
The
really
the
matter.
only one I could see being connected would be Arrow, but I don't think Arrow is connected.
Well, if Arrow's
But I
connected, then
could see
Flash
it.
has to be.
Exactly, and if Flash is connected to Arrow, vice versa. But I could see that being connected, but I don't. And maybe Constantine because it is uh part David Goyer worked on that, so maybe that, but not even that really. I mean, in
Well, they
terms
might
of
not even go the dark kind of that route for a while in the cinematic universe. Like
I
they
don't.
might not even
I
go that
think
way for a
I
long
think
time.
I think because they're doing it on TV, they aren't gonna do it in the movies. At least
No, except
not
for
anytime
Sandman.
soon.
But Sandman is not necessarily connected at all.
I think Sandman, if that's even, I mean, we know they're working on it. That's fact. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's working on it with David Goyer, and there's one other guy they have too. I can't think of his name, but there's three people working on it right now, but that release date might not be true.
No.
And I honestly, that's the one release date that I have a hard time believing, just because everything we've heard about it doesn't even suggest that they're even remotely ready to start filming. They haven't.
No.
It doesn't even remotely suggest that they've casted anybody in any of the roles.
Well, we don't. Yeah, like Joseph Gordon-Levitt isn't necessarily even
He might not even be
in it.
playing a character. He could
Yeah.
just right now. He's just kind of helping it move along. He's producing it in a way. He's said to be also possibly directing and starring in it, which I could definitely see him doing. He's directed and starred in one movie before. He did Don John, which was really good. I recommend it. But, so I could see him doing it. But right now, he's not. He's not, like, announced to do that. He's just producing it.
Maybe they'll announce something at Comic-Con.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe he'll come out and talk about Sandman. Maybe that'll be something they do. Because
The one that
Marvel's done that with their movies. They brought out, sadly he's not on it anymore, but I think 2 years ago they brought out Edgar Wright to talk about Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Which is cool to see, and they showed that little test footage, which was really cool.
The one TV show that wouldn't be connected would be Gotham, but there's no reason why it has to be connected or should necessarily be connected, right?
Yeah, we already know Gotham's not connected.
Yeah,
They've said it
they
like
said
3 times already.
Yeah, and there's no reason why, it has to be.
It wouldn't make sense for it to be connected either. It just wouldn't. It wouldn't fit. Where would it be in the timeline? That would be that would be the thing. Where would it fit?
It'd be too much of a mess to even bother trying to connect it. And you don't have to. Like, it's just an origin story.
I think people already realize it's not. I mean, people can look at, okay, that show has young Bruce Wayne. This is a lot older Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Even if they think that's the origin of this Bruce Wayne, like, people are gonna. I guarantee you, there's gonna be people that do think that Gotham is the origin of Ben Affleck's Batman. People are just gonna think that, but they're gonna be so different that it won't matter. Exactly. I do think though that the Gotham, how Gotham looks in the Gotham TV show, that more gothic style in a way, I think that's how Gotham is going to look in Batman versus Superman too. I think it's going to look the same type of style, but completely different characters.
Yeah. It'd be cool.
There's that. So I guess we've been going for about an hour and a half now. Long time.
Yeah.
So we'll end it here. And we went off track a bit. We talked about the TV shows, but that's fine. So I guess that's it for this episode. And listen, in the description box below, there are links to the DC Cinematic Universe Facebook page and group. Please click on the links, like the page, join the group. There are also links to all the news stories we discussed in the description box as well. Also, if you like the podcast, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. That is the best way to support the podcast. Till next time, which is, next month because it's a monthly thing. Goodbye.